Welcome back to another episode of Let's Chat Podcast, y'all. I am your host, JoJo.
And I'm Tyra.
Ooh.
What's
You
happening?
should have just seen the weird ass face I just made, but it's okay. It be like that from time to time.
It's because you're looking at yourself. Sometimes you gotta make some funny faces when you look at yourself in the mirror, you know?
One thing about me is I'm gonna entertain myself.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing about me is I'm gonna talk to myself, and guess what? Yes, I'm gonna answer. I love when people be like, "It's okay, you could talk to." First, they be like, "Are you talking to yourself?" And I'm like, "Yes," and they be like, "It's okay as long as you don't answer yourself." And I'm like, "But I do, but I do." And sometimes you just got to
Right.
don't judge me. And secondly, oh, my fault. That was second. Third, I'm fucking cute. So yeah, sometimes I'll be looking at myself and I'll be a little conceited.
Oh, it's Virgo season, so she doesn't know how to act.
You feel me? You feel me?
She does not know how to act because it's Virgo season. Oh my lord.
I still don't even know the breakdown of that and how that shit starts.
It started on the 22nd, August 22, and it ends on September 22nd, which is my birthday. It's the first day of fall as well. So I can't forget it, of course.
You just got all the facts.
Of course. You know, we're both Virgos, if y'all didn't know. But so yeah, September is a crazy month. Because it's JoJo's birthday, and then it's also my birthday. It's also my sister's birthday, and both of my best friends' birthday is also in September. And then the first week of October is my niece and nephew's birthday, and it's also my mom's birthday. So literally, it's everyone's birthday.
Honestly, once September gets here, like from the end of August through basically Christmas, is just crazy. Always crazy for me because everybody's birthday is at the back end of that year,
right?
And then right after the birthdays finish, the holidays come. So it's like Jesus,
right? So due to that. We missed last week's episode because we just had a lot going on, like always. So we decided that we're gonna do bi-weekly podcasts. We don't know when we're gonna return back to normal, but for right now, bi-weekly is basically what works with our schedule. We really only have the weekends to do this.
Yeah. I feel like when you said that, I just heard the "aww" in my head. I wish I had a soundboard so I could be like, "Aww."
Right.
Dito, I know you guys are upset. You're sad about it. I'm sad about it. But BRFF, be for fucking real, right? That's how you say it?
Yeah.
Whatever. Anyway, yeah, the timing right now that we have going on is very limited.
Yeah, and we're just being realistic with ourselves, and we just know how fall gets in general. Like we just said, September is our birthdays, everyone's birthday, super busy. October, both of our mom's birthdays. It's just something going on every weekend. So since we really only do this on the weekends, then it's hard to do anything else and schedule other things. So with also the holidays coming, Thanksgiving and Christmas, New Year's, it's just always a busy time for everyone. And we obviously still want to do this and we enjoy doing this. So we still want to give you guys a little taste of it. So
yeah.
I don't know of any other podcast that does bi-weekly. So we'll see how this works.
Honestly, it's crazy, but it's at the end of the day, it's just let's be for real. This isn't our full-time thing, and as much as we want to give you guys, content weekly, as consistent as possible, I can say that what are we in year 3? I think we started off really strong, very consistent, and then last year I think we were pretty consistent. Other than the fact that not only were we doing the podcast, but we were also trying to maintain Patreon, and we had to let go of Patreon because of obviously time management. A lot of things have changed over the years, and again, it's not we don't want to do this. It's just we got to be realistic. This is a priority, but we have other priorities.
I mean, we have jobs, and our jobs are very demanding and just also very emotionally and physically exhausting at times. And yeah, I'll be starting another job soon. Y'all already know how I do, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna be busy like always. So it is what it is. But yeah, so moving on. We still have tickets to Thailand left. So if you guys are interested, we're going to be going to Thailand in July of 2025. We're going to be going right after Bali because we're like, we're already going to be there. The flight's already going to be long. So might as well do it right after. We're going to be doing a bunch of different excursions. They're all highlighted on our Instagram stories, like in the highlights. So if you like more information about that, go ahead and check it out. I like to like actually put videos there of people who have done those excursions. So like what I put is basically what people have posted on like social media and things like that. And honestly, I'm super excited because it's very like beachy, like we're gonna be basically in the beach every single day. We're gonna be going to different islands and we're gonna be with monkeys, and yeah, it's gonna be
I
fun.
love island hopping because it's like
Yeah.
you just get to see a whole lot. And I've been telling her for the longest because like within the last year, we haven't really vacationed. Like, yeah, she went to DR or whatever, but we did Colombia, and where we stayed in Colombia, it was just
We stay
more
at,
city.
yeah, it's like
Yeah.
city, and like we stay at my sister's Airbnb, but I feel like it's different when you're like we didn't do like a lot of excursions.
Yeah.
So this time I feel like we have a lot of that planned.
I'm excited. So
Yeah.
y'all should, take the risk, book the trip, and we outside.
Literally.
Let's go. Like, stop thinking. You're thinking too hard. You're
Yeah.
thinking too hard, friend. You're thinking too hard.
Yeah, somebody has said in our group chat today for Bali, like money comes and goes, but like experiences are here forever. And that's super valid. And I feel like I've seen TikTok videos and just like videos of people talking about like people who are older and like talking about how like they didn't get to really enjoy their life, and now that they're older it's hard for them to do these things.
Yeah.
And it's so crazy that like we work so hard, Dika, because we want to retire and then travel. Like that doesn't make any sense. Like I feel like my knees are already hurting and I'm not even 30. So it's like imagine traveling when you're like older and like you have kids. Like it's obviously gonna be way harder,
Yeah.
and our health isn't gonna be the best. So I feel like just doing all these things that are like very active, it's gonna be just extremely harder. So you might as well just do it now. And life is getting even more expensive. So I can't even imagine what things are gonna cost later on down the line. So I feel like we gotta take advantage now that we're young. And there are some payment plans. So if that's like something that you guys are worrying about, you put like a deposit down and then you do have some time to like do payment plans so you don't have to pay all at once. But yeah, that information is linked on our bio. So today's topic is going to be about like PDA. And I don't think we've ever talked about this before.
I almost feel like we briefly touched on it, maybe another, like it just came up within conversation of other topics, but I don't think we like specifically made it a topic.
Yeah. Yeah, so PDA, public display of affection, right?
Yes.
How do you feel about that? Were you always like a PDA person?
So I feel like before, in my early dating stages, I was weird about it. Like, I was around a lot of people. I had friends who were in relationships and shit, and it looked cute. But it's just like when it came to physically, like when I finally ended in my first relationship, I was just like,
it was cringy.
Yeah, not even. I don't know. It was just like weird, and I think one of the main reasons was because I'm not used to. Well, I wasn't used to affection because I don't come from an affectionate household. I come from like, for funny play, fight, shit like that. Not like, oh, give me a hug, give me a kiss, hold my hand, no shit like that. So when it came to that, I was just like weird. But also I wasn't comfortable enough yet in my sexuality. So like you know, being with my first girlfriend at the time, it was just like they wanted all that affection, and I just like, chill, like people are watching, people are around, like, you know, don't touch my hand, don't hold my hand, don't, like, I don't know, it was just mad uncomfortable. And I think for me that was because like just I wasn't comfortable with it yet, you know, like with people knowing like, oh yeah, you know, I'm in a relationship with a whole nother girl, like that was still like, it was a norm but not yet completely.
I think that people find that offensive though.
What?
So I was dating this girl, and we had gone on a trip, and I was a little like shook with like holding their hand, especially because like we were in a pool or whatever, and she was trying to be all lovey-dovey, but there's like men in the pool. I think it was like actually a jacuzzi. Like there's like no, like this is a very small space, and I just didn't feel fully comfortable, and they got offended by that. Like, you about to ruin the whole trip because of that. That's crazy. Like, that's nuts.
I feel like like you could feel that energy. You're just like, it's like, oh, so you don't want to. And now I almost get that a little bit, because now like that I'm comfortable and I'm just like, oh, I do want, like, I don't care, give me PDA, like show me attention in front of people, like why we gotta be weird about it. But also being conscious of the fact that we gotta be a little bit more weird about it, because you know, people are weird about it. Right. But they used to be mad too, and like now I feel like sometimes I'll be like, what, you don't want to kiss me in front of people? And then it's just like, you gotta think about it, like people be weird about it. So I don't know.
How did your family show PDA? Like, were your parents like the type to like hug and kiss in front of y'all?
No, I hardly ever saw. I can probably count on my hands like how many times I saw my parents show affection.
Really?
Yeah.
So how would they talk to each other? Like, what did they have nicknames for each other?
No, it was always like bae. Bae,
Okay,
bae, 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 bae,
that's
bae, bae, bae,
something.
bae, bae, yeah.
That's something.
Bae this, bae that, you know. Affection wise, I really don't know. I don't want to say one time, because I'm sure I've seen them at some point, but it's been so long since I've seen my parents together that it's actually weird and hard to see when they did show that affection to each other. But half the time, no, like my dad's not that affectionate. I don't want to say that my mom's not affectionate, like at least with relationship wise. I think my mom likes affection, but I don't know. I think my dad wasn't the affectionate type relationship. And then when it comes to like the kids, I don't want to say, I think my mom's way of showing affection is, you know, like play, you know, the playing around. Because we used to play fight with our mom, fuck around, you know, and then shit talking, and the, you know, we're kind of like, you know, because you've been around us, like my mom and my mom's side of family, where we're like, our form of affection and shit is like making fun of each other, you know, talking shit, you know, the playing with hands type stuff. We don't take nothing serious.
Yeah.
And then my dad's side of the family is just, I don't know, that whole shit is weird. But like there's none of that. It's just like, oh, hey, love you, how you doing? Like real more, I don't want to say proper, but like I don't know, weird. But
I don't think that's weird though.
Not like, it's just like I don't know, I guess it's because like we're so comfortable with the like growing up with my mom's side of the family as, like I always say, extra siblings. Yeah. You know? That my dad's side of family, I grew up with my cousins, not saying like me and none of my cousins, but like my aunts and uncles on that side, they like actually like we don't have that bond with them where it's like, oh, like I've been up under you. You know what I'm saying? Because we were around my dad's family, but not like how we grew up with my mom's family. So I think like that's where the difference is, and since we're so comfortable in that, it's like like the weird, I don't know how to explain it, but
it's more formal, I guess.
Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. It's more formal. And it's just like, okay, like this conversation with my aunts and uncles can go only but so far. With my cousins we talk shit, but
it's probably also because they're a little religious.
No? Not all of them.
Okay.
No. But nonetheless, we didn't grow up like give me kisses, the whole bendición and all that stuff,
Yeah.
and hugs, see you later, love you every
Mm-hmm.
time you come in and out.
Yeah.
No, it was just like I always said, it's always like an unspoken love. Like, I love you.
Right.
Like, don't be stupid about it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
we're just bullies about it for some reason.
Yeah.
So that's why I feel like I never felt comfortable in the whole affection thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then aside from like finding comfort in my sexuality, it was just like, all right, like, well,
Yeah.
whatever. And then now here I am, almost 30 years old, and I'm just like, I want affection.
Isn't
I
that
want it.
crazy?
It's so
Isn't that
crazy.
crazy?
So crazy to me.
Yeah.
Crazy. I don't know if I'm just getting old or if I just like really like you.
No, they be saying that sometimes you like crave what you didn't get as a child.
Yeah.
And like in my family, it's the opposite.
Yes.
And Jojo had sent me a video before of like, it was like somebody who like got into a relationship and like their side of the family was like always like hugging them or like just being like overly friendly. And I feel like sometimes my family could be like that, especially like my mom. Like my stepdad doesn't talk much, but we always do like the bendición, the hugs and kisses every time we see each other. So that's like completely normal. Like honestly, we don't do the play fighting. Like no play fight. Like because now we fighting. Because now we really fighting.
They had a heart attack because me and her me and her brother-in-law
We're play fighting.
We're play fighting.
Nah, but y'all was ODing on the floor.
No,
like,
it was because we big, It's just like
and we were like,
they're
what's
so
happening
not
here?
yeah, like to them
Y'all
it was just like,
fighting?
this is out of pocket. Like, first of all, you're a girl, you're a man, like that's already weird. And it's like, wow, y'all going too hard. And it's just like, yo, you could tell they never play for in their life.
And like we don't, I mean, I have my little brother, but like there's no like guys in the family that are like that. And my dad is also not like my dad doesn't even watch sports. Like he does here and there, but he's not like crazy about sports. Yeah. My real father, on the other hand, he is crazy, but like we don't got that macho energy in the house at all. Like everything's like very soft. So it's like when y'all was play fighting, we were like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Like,
it got
I was like, y'all gotta stop.
Mad. Like, oh shit, like chill. And I'm like, oh, all right, I'm gonna stop. Like,
yeah.
I ain't no bitch. I ain't gonna lay down for nobody either.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was just like a old, like you're gonna offend her type of thing, but like I don't care. I grew up with a bunch of brothers. That's all we did was play fight. I love play fighting. I like to tussle. I
don't like to tussle.
I know. Tried to play fight with her one time. She was like, "What are you doing?"
I don't know. I feel like that's how fights start. Like that's how I remember them. That's how I remember with like my sisters.
It's kind of like
it's like once you hit somebody a little too hard, now they mad and now we fighting. Like what?
I never been like let's hit each other like that. I don't play with like smacking in the face, this and that. Maybe when I say play fighting, I'm talking about some like I'm gonna hit a pillow, like I'm gonna throw a pillow at you type shit, or like I'm a a little poke there, or like let's wrestle, No, and then not like let me get overboard. Let's slap box or nothing.
That's
crazy.
The thing. I feel like I got PTSD. I don't know. I grew up in DR with my cousins too, and I feel like it was just too much chaos going on. Like too many crazy people, too many different personalities, and we were all around the same age. So I feel like that was like, I feel like once my grandma saw that, it was just like, don't ever do that. Don't ever play fight. Don't ever do this, whatever. So that was just always ingrained in us. But yeah, they're very affectionate. Like my mom, my parents, very affectionate. Like see them hug and kiss all the time, and they call each other like all these like pet names. Like my mom calls my dad Papi.
Yeah.
And my mom and my dad calls my mom Mommy. I'm like, okay, that's your thing.
We don't have pet names. We don't do that. I call her Sugar. That's my sugar. That's it.
It's cute.
The rest of the time it's just like babe.
But babe is cute. It's not that cute.
I mean, it's just basic.
Oh, okay.
Basic.
Okay. But in your past relationships, was that the only person that you were like, a little iffy about with the PDA, and that's because that was obviously like your first girlfriend, or what?
Nah, I think that was like a regular
Oh,
like
with everyone.
thing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's why
Oh,
I tell
okay.
you every time like people would tell me like, "Yo, I need more affection from you," and like
Mhm.
once you complain to me about it, I'm kind of like turned off, and I don't want to do it because you want me to do it. I was listen weird. I don't want to say weird, but it was just like petty shit, you know. Like growing into those stages, it was just like, here you go complain to me. It was like, here you go complaining again type shit. Here you go like being extra. Like I show you affection, you just and I made it a thing like, all right,
Mhm.
whatever. And then when you ask me to do something, I'm like, I don't want to do it because you're telling me to do it.
Mhm.
Like I want to just do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was weird about it.
But I do think that like PDA is like something strange for me because I feel like even when I was with guys, showing PDA like in front of my family, no. Like, don't kiss me in front of my mom. Like, don't do that. Like, maybe you could put your
Yeah,
arm
I used to be
around.
like that.
Don't put. Maybe you could put your arm around me and stuff like that. But like, my parents, they, I don't know. A lot of Hispanics are like this. They really feel
Mm,
like we're never like an adult. And like even at 21, it's like they still look at you crazy if you have a man. Like it's like or a partner in general. And it's like they'd be weird with the PDA. So it's like you can't do PDA. And then so I think it's really like a Hispanic thing, but I also think it could be like a religion thing.
mm,
Because we were watching like Love is Blind, and there was this girl who was Muslim
yeah.
who talked about like, we show a lot of PDA alone, but like if we were in front of my family, like you can't do that. Mind
Mm,
you, they're like getting married type shit. And she's still saying that. um I don't want to get to that point though. Like it's like at a certain point, like it's like I'm grown as hell. Like don't be weird because I see you and
it'd be
dad
weird.
be
Yeah.
all about each other, like but I do think that parents kind of make you feel awkward, and then you don't want to show PDA too much.
Mm,
But I think it's just even my family. Like I feel like even drinking a beer, oh my god, she's drinking a beer. Like it's like, yo,
dramatic.
I'm like about to be 30. Like, what? Why you judging me? They be judging low key, and it's like you're drinking a beer. I saw you growing up. You was drinking, so it's like why I could take a shot, and like now you are like shook. Now
Mm,
you're like scared for me, and I'm like, girl, like my mom be acting so crazy. Like she would rather leave the function type shit, rather leave the room than see me and my sisters taking shots. Like, and like me and my family, we like to have fun, but my mom,
nah, cause when
she
we
be
was in
weird.
Colombia, your mom was throwing it back.
Yeah, it's like she
It's
has
like
her
she got
she
this
has her
social
moments.
energy.
She has her
Yeah.
moments where sometimes she's like judging you, and other times she's trying to be down.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you never know. Like,
What you gonna get?
what's the way? Like, what's your mood today? Can we drink, or are you gonna be weird?
Now you're gonna be
So,
weird.
nah, I'm telling you. So it's like maybe she was just trying to show off in front of you. Like I don't know what it was, but
Maybe.
yeah. So the PDA thing is always like with Hispanic families is always like a iffy thing. I don't know what it is. And I feel like especially if you're in a gay relationship, like they gonna be weird. Like in a straight relationship, gay relationship, it don't matter. I don't know.
Tell them what your
Oh my
grandma put
god.
on your thing.
So I had put that I sold this house, right? And I posted it on my Facebook because it was the first house or whatever. So I was like, let me just post it. And she comments, obviously, all the aunts and uncles, they want to comment on Facebook and say like all these things. And then my grandma commented on it saying, congratulations. I see that you're following in my footsteps. I'm so happy for you. And please say hi to your friend. My friend, aka Jojo. And I'm like, she knows that's my girlfriend. Like when we went to DR, me and her never had a conversation about it until afterwards. She called me and she was like, oh, I don't know if I shared it here. She was like, oh, like your dad told me, and she was like, I have friends who are gay. Like I am very accepting of that. Like I would love to meet Jojo. You're welcome anytime. Like this doesn't change our relationship or whatever the case is. And I was shocked because she's always been very like reserved. Never seen her in a relationship or anything. And like very like workaholic type thing. And when she would bring up relationships to me, I'm like, oh, I'm focusing on school. Like I'm busy. But I do have an aunt who's very, very religious. her daughter. So I was like, I don't know how they feel about that. So I'd rather just not even talk to them about it. But I'm glad to know that she's cool with it.
Yeah.
I mean, what can she do?
When I think about me,
What?
I'm gonna be the best
Oh
friend.
my lord. Yeah, they love saying amiga.
Uh,
That's your amiga. Like they know that's your girlfriend, but they
yeah.
love to say amiga. Like, all right, whatever. All right, so I pulled up some facts about like PDA. So this is what I found. It says a 2021 study notes that LGBTQ plus couples are more likely to experience minority stress, such as discrimination and physical violence when they engage in PDA, which discloses their sexual minority identity. This makes many couples hesitant to even show that they are together in public, affecting their everyday life and long-term relationship satisfaction. So I feel like um I'm a little careful with the PDA thing because of all the cases of like violence towards LGBTQ couples. And I'll go over a few, but that's really what scares me, especially like traveling, especially like being abroad. But even honestly, like just even walking down the street, like you never know what weirdo is just like, oh, this is the day. Like, I'm about to punch them in the
Yeah.
fucking face just for being gay. Like, and I got punched in the face before. If you have been an OG listener, I talked about a time where I was in Barcelona and a guy punched me in the face. So yeah, it could literally happen to anybody. He busted my lip. So and I feel like I'm seeing this a little bit more recently now.
Yeah.
There's this couple that I follow, that we follow, very cute couple. And I have reposted their stuff because they went to some place in San Diego, which is really like LGBTQ friendly. So I'm shocked that this happened to them. But like I said, it could happen anywhere. And I don't know what happened. I don't know if it's because they're gay, or I don't know if it's for another reason, but some guy like punched them in the face, like assaulted them. It was like a group of people, but there was men involved too, to the point where she had a neck brace on, blood everywhere, like busted lip. Like I'm like, how do y'all do this and are okay with it? Like, I mean, like social media can find you, and that's what happened. Like people reposted and they were found, and I hope that they get charged, because it's like, I don't care what these girls were doing. I don't care if they were making out. I don't care. I don't even care if it was even related to them being gay, but it's like nobody deserves to get hit, punched in
Yeah.
the face, like assaulted. Like what the, like grow up. Like y'all don't care to be like arrested and have like something in your records. Like sometimes you just gotta walk away from things because it's just crazy. But there was this story
Hold
which all right, so back in 2019, there was June of 2019, of course. I remember this story about this lesbian couple in London who were attacked. And I want to read like her Facebook post. She said last Wednesday, and I'll link it because in this picture, look at this.
Wow.
Fuck them up. Um Last Wednesday, she says, I had a date with Chris, her partner. Two girls. We got on the night bus heading for her place in Camden Town, climbed upstairs, and took the front seats. We must have kissed or something because these guys came after us. I don't remember if they were already there or if they got on after us. There were at least four of them. They started behaving like hooligans, demanding that we kiss so they could enjoy watching, calling us lesbians, and describing sexual positions. I don't remember the whole episode, but the word scissors stuck in my mind. It was only them and us there. In an attempt to calm things down, I started making jokes. I thought this might make them go away. Chris even pretended she was sick, but they kept on harassing us, throwing us coins and becoming more enthusiastic. I don't even know how to say that word.
Enthusiastic.
Yeah. I, throwing coins. Like, what's happening here? The next thing I know is that Chris is in the middle of the bus fighting with them. On an impulse, I went over there only to find her face bleeding and three of them beating her up. The next thing I know is I'm being punched. I got dizzy at the sight of my blood and fell back. I don't remember whether or not I lost consciousness. Suddenly, the bus had stopped, the police were there, and I was bleeding all over. Our stuff was stolen as well. I don't I don't know yet if my nose is broken and I haven't been able to go back to work. But what upsets me most is that violence has become a common thing. That sometimes it's necessary to see a woman bleeding after having them punched to feel some kind of impact. I'm tired of being taken as a sexual object, of finding that these situations are casual, of gay friends who were beaten up just because. We have to endure
Indoor.
endure verbal harassment, um because when you stand up for yourself, shit like this happens. By the way, I am thankful for all the women and men in my life that understand that having balls means something completely different. I just hope that in June, Pride Month, stuff like this can be spoken out loudly so they can stop happening. So this happened back in 2019 in London, which is crazy because like I feel like you hear about all these crazy stories and attacks in the US. But yeah, they happen everywhere, which is the sad part. Um, and I started like going down a rabbit hole on Wikipedia on like attacks towards the LGBTQ people and mainly like couples. And it said that right after this in 2020 in Germany, a gay couple was attacked by a 20-year-old Islamic extremist in the old town of Dresden. It said that they stabbed one of them to death and severely wounded the other one, and they're now facing charges of murder and attempted murder. And that they believe that homophobia was the main motivation behind the crime. Like stabbing somebody to death is crazy. Then there was another case in 2021 of a married lesbian couple who were murdered on August 13, 2021 by someone named Adam, who then later committed suicide before they discovered that he was the killer. But they were basically like, they lived like in their van, like they were like travel people or whatever. But yeah, it's like every year these things are happening. I couldn't find recent things, but it's funny that this week all of these things were happening with, I told you, the gay couple that got into a fight in San Diego, and then apparently there was another gay couple who were violently beaten by a Shake Shack employee after kissing. It says Christian and his partner were at Shake Shack late Saturday when their innocent display of affection sparked a physical confrontation. This was in Washington, D.C., and apparently a worker came to us and said that, you know, you can't be doing that here because they kissed. You can't be doing that type of stuff here. And I don't know how the hell this man just started getting, like, beating them up because of that. Like, apparently he only got, like, suspended or something like that. Like, it's like, you should be fired.
Oh, that's crazy.
Nuts. Because it's like, what's really your issue here? Like, people like this really have some mental health issues. But yeah, those are all the stories I have, and I'm sure that there are way more.
Yeah.
Way more. I mean, when I was going down this Wikipedia list, there was a lot, but I can't go through all of these. But I do feel like a lot of the reasons why people, well, specifically LGBTQ people, are so shy when it comes to PDA is just because they're scared that someone might react some way.
Yeah.
And be weird. And it's like, I don't know, you just always gotta like watch your back.
Which is crazy because it's like you're living your life minding your own business.
Yeah.
You know? Just trying to be, and I guess that's the problem, is just trying to be like everybody else. But it's like you can't, because you're not like everybody else, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like we gotta play by different rules, apparently. Like, you know, I feel like even though it's like our community is becoming more accepted in some ways,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't change the fact that like
There are
we
some
still are
crazy
target.
psychopaths.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we're never gonna be fully accepted in all rooms, you know?
Right. Right. And like we're close to New York City, and I feel like people in New York City, they get punched in the face just for being just for walking.
Yeah.
Like women and men getting punched in the face, getting thrown in the train, like little, like we gotta watch out.
We're
Like
just in a very violent era, and maybe it seems like it's more violent now because we, like you said,
uh-huh.
social media. You see everything on social media. Things happen. People are pulling out phones and it's getting posted. Um, and that's not to say that like there hasn't always been this type of violence. We just never seen it.
Right.
And now that it's being seen, it's just like, oh my God, this is so crazy. This is unbearable.
Right.
Like,
And it's annoying though, like you like really need proof to
yeah.
like even press charges on someone. But it's like, so when I got punched in the face, right? Busted my lip, I went to go report it and it was like a joke. Like it was like, well, this happened in a club, so we would need to get the club footage. I don't think they have the like they were just it was like I was going through so many different people, and
And it's
I feel
unfortunate
like
because, like you said, like
nothing came about that.
you being
Uh-huh.
yeah abroad, it's like what would what would essentially be the process here
Mm-hmm.
wasn't the same there. You know,
Yeah.
you're like, oh, I'm gonna go report this. Like, if you did that shit here, like, cool, like it would have been
Uh-huh.
entertained. Somebody would took care of it, whatever. You know, but it's just like depending on where you're at, we think like we're just so used to where we're from and
Mm-hmm.
living in our little world that we forget like not every city's the same, not every
Mm-hmm.
county's the
Right.
same, not every state is the same, not every
Right.
country is the same. So it's like damn, like you really got to know where you're going and how
Right.
things like that are taken care of, because like you said, laughing at you like it's oh all right girl, like giving you the
Like that's
runaround, like is
normal.
there's no point in pursuing it.
Right, right. And that's what it felt like. Like there was no point in pursuing it. And it's like maybe people have gone through this process too, where it's like maybe even here, like something happened,
It's
they
just
try to
brushed
report
off.
it, and like it was just brushed off. Like you'll heal. But it's like no, that's not the point, because the person can't keep going around punching people in the face and thinking that it's okay. Like like it really could have gone like really bad. That's what I'm trying to say. And like your life could really be like turned upside down.
Yeah.
And so, sometimes when I hear these things, it makes me just not even want to go out,
Yeah.
because it's like, well,
What's the
why I
point?
want to go out so I could like run into some issue and some drama. Like I'm better off staying home.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's sad. And this is not to say that y'all shouldn't do PDA. This is not to scare you guys off. It's just like, I guess, to give you like a different perspective as to like why someone may not be as comfortable. Maybe they're just like recently out and this is like their first relationship, or honestly they're just scared because of the area, and they don't know, like they're not comfortable with where they are.
Yeah. You just gotta read the room and
Yeah.
be very conscious of your surroundings and aware of what's happening around you.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you can kind of see when people are being weird,
Yeah.
and then
Like
you're
what
just
the
like,
hell are you
ah,
looking at? Yeah.
yeah, whether
They
it's
be
seeing it or
staring.
getting that gut feeling, like, it's
Yeah.
just being aware, more so to say.
Yeah, for sure. Um all right, let's get into the family meeting.
Yep.
All right. So the question is, when is it a good time to share with someone that wait, no. When is it a good time to share with someone you're getting serious with, and how should you go about it? I've been seeing this girl for almost 2 months and things are getting serious. We are on the same wavelength and have a very rare connection, and everything is going great. I am nervous because I have slept with a few of my friends and I'm still friends with them. My gut tells me to tell the girl, but I'm scared. Any advice would be great.
Okay. So how did you? Not how did you?
How did you?
How would you feel had? Because I
Uh-huh.
not one of my best friends is someone that I had
Yeah.
sexual relations with.
Mhm.
So in knowing that, like, okay, we've been together for however long
Mhm.
and you never knew that, do you feel like it will bother you that I had never told you that?
I feel like it would bother me because it's just like I would rather just know
Mm-hmm.
and like just be honest with me. Like I feel like a little kiss is different than like actual like sexual relations with someone. So I feel like you might as well just tell them. Like if you're planning on getting serious with this person,
Yeah.
it's gonna come out one day and you're probably gonna be upset and it's gonna ruin the whole night. I don't know. Like I feel like it's gonna come out one day or another. So you might as well just tell them.
Yeah. People don't like surprises. And like when me and her started
Mhm.
dating, I told her straight up, like, I'm gonna be real with you. I did not have sexual relations with all my friends. I may have, kissed a couple, but like the one friend was the only one, and that was because before we were actually friends, we tried it and we were just like we should have just been friends,
Mhm.
I didn't want that, like she said, I didn't want that shit dragging to the point where it was like, oh, it come up later, and
Right.
then you stuck explaining like
Right.
why you
Because
just
I
ain't tell
feel
me if
like
it wasn't
right.
that serious, you
Right.
know?
I think it's just annoying to hear from somebody else.
Mm-hmm. And I also don't
Mhm.
want you to have the idea that, oh, like, well, what you was hiding for. Because now, like, when you're not upfront about things, then it's like, oh, well, so why you ain't tell me if it wasn't that big of a deal?
Right.
Because, you try to play it as, oh, it wasn't that big of a deal. That's why I didn't tell you. Well,
Right.
if it wasn't that big of a deal, why didn't you just tell me?
Right.
Just we could have did that back then. But yeah, like she said, like trying to find out from other people, and people
People
run
be
their mouth all the
and
time.
twisting stories
Yeah, and
and
then it's
making it.
not even the
Yeah.
actual way that it was, and now like that's the idea that your partner
Right.
has in their head, and it's just like nah, like that's not even right. So now, being though you didn't tell her from the rip, and she hearing it from somebody else, she not even gonna really consider your story. She's not gonna.
Right.
She gonna be like, yeah, you coming up with something else, and I don't know what to believe.
Right.
So it's like sometimes you just gotta be upfront and tell them the shit yourself.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
dead all that third party shit.
Right. And they've been seeing each other for 2 months, so I feel like it's a good time to bring it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially if you're around those people all the time.
Yeah, and like it's still early, and yeah, you like the person, you want to be serious, but it's just like at least you would know now, like, all right, she all right with it. If she not all right with it, then we could work on it, or if she not trying to work on it, then that's it.
Yeah,
Like,
right. And then we're
move
done.
forward.
Yeah. Moving on. All right. Next question. It says a friend who always asks or jokes around about being poly. Hold on. These questions got me fucked. Hold on. Let's start this over.
Yeah. Sorry, Milo. Gotta sit this on you. Oh, it's the second one.
Now
That
you
says
uncomfortable
friend?
and shit. Uh-huh.
Okay, yeah, this is friend who always asks or jokes around about being poly with me and my girlfriend. Even mentioned having a sex dream with me in front of my girl and her little situationship. Do you think she's hinting towards actually wanting to be poly with us? Can't ever tell since she has a fun and flirtatious personality. But deep down, I feel like people with these types of personalities hide the truth through jokes. What do y'all think? I mean, yeah. I think it's a little 50-50.
Yeah.
Like, you're telling me because you want me to know.
People
but like, do you want me to know because
wanna,
you're trying to see what's up?
right. People always want to
Then just
joke
say
around
that.
that. Like, just be real.
Yeah.
They love to joke.
I guess the whole joking around is to kind of see how you take it.
Right.
Like, hypothetically speaking, this is what happened, but like, what you think about it? And then they just want to see if like, oh, you be down for it, or like how you respond to see if you consider it. And then if not, they be like, yeah, it was weird. It was weird.
Right.
I'm kidding.
And I feel like if she mentioned having a sex dream with you, with the other girl around, I feel like they had to have a conversation about this before, because I would be like, should I leave the room? Because clearly you want to be with her type shit. Like, if the girl wasn't into that poly shit, she'd be like, what? Like, why would you say that? The fuck? Like, what?
I feel like there's no like.
You could just ask somebody, would you ever be in a poly relationship?
Yeah.
Or do you think that you ever be interested in that? If you guys are truly friends, you guys can have a conversation about it.
Yeah. Yeah, because I feel like it's always seemed like it's a weird thing. Like, if you've never been in a poly relationship, obviously you don't know how to move about it. But it's like, ask the questions, give those hypotheticals, and be like, yo, like, I'm just trying to see how you feel, or try and see what your thought process is. Like, it's okay to pick your friend's brain. It's not to be weird. Just say what's up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I wanna meet somebody who's like in a, who's polyamorous.
Yeah, we still waiting to meet somebody.
Yeah, I just want to know, like, well, I don't even know what I want to know, because like, being as though like we've never experienced, it's like you don't even know what are the right questions to ask. I think it's different for everybody, and that's the thing, is like, I think we kind of all have sometimes this idea of what polyamory is supposed to be, what a throuple is supposed to be. Like, oh, well, then how is anybody getting with? Then for that, why not just be single and be with? No, I mean, you get to like pick the person you want for this process, who you want to experience this with, how you want to, you kind of like play and bend the rules with each other. So I mean, I think it's like cool to see, like, oh shit, like I never thought about something like that, right?
Yeah.
I think it's just. It just opens up like your idea of it. You're just like, oh shit, like that's a lot. Good for you, but damn, I ain't never think about it that way.
Yeah. Yeah, I love to meet somebody who's like in a poly relationship or throuple. So if y'all are in one of these relationships, hit us up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that was it.
All right, now that's it. You ain't got nothing else.
No, nothing else.
Man, stop playing with me and book your trip for Thailand. We're trying to lock it in. I really want to go to Thailand. Obviously, I really want to go to Bali. I'm glad we got that did and done. But Thailand is where it's gonna be at. Right. So,
all right, y'all. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe.
Douche, motherfuckers.
Bye.